We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some major news regarding the recently released WWE star R-Truth and his potential next move in wrestling, following his unceremonious departure from the company this past weekend. Now, while most wrestling fans are likely going to continue showing their frustrations with WWE for deciding to part ways with R-Truth in the hopes that Triple H and TKO will realize their mistake and bring him back, with the R-Truth chants likely to continue at shows, the reality is that the chances of WWE bringing Truth back are slim to none, especially when it had been revealed by WrestleVotes that WWE stars were essentially banned from even showing their support for R-Truth on TV by wearing his merchandise, hence why Rhea Ripley, who had been wearing an R-Truth t-shirt backstage prior to Raw going on the air, was basically told to change it. With the way things have been running in WWE lately, we don't believe they're going to be bringing R-Truth back no matter how loud the chants get, because what fans need to realize is that when CM Punk had left WWE back in 2014, those loud CM Punk chants that followed his departure essentially did nothing in the way of the company bringing him back, and it wasn't until almost 10 years later before Punk would return, so it's unlikely that WWE are going to cave in on their decision to release Truth and bring him back just because fans are voicing their displeasure over the release by chanting his name. So with that said, fans are probably better off putting their focus on what actually can happen, which is R-Truth joining another major wrestling company outside of WWE, the two most likely options being AEW and TNA, and according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there is reportedly already an interest from TNA Wrestling to sign R-Truth, with the belief being that the company are already willing to offer Truth a contract, with Meltzer's exact words being, quote, "Those in TNA have already said that they want to make him an offer." Now, as some of you are likely aware, R-Truth has a history with TNA, as he had worked with the company for several years prior to returning to WWE in the mid-2000s, and TNA is actually where Truth had his biggest career accomplishments, winning the NWA World title twice, so Truth likely has a good association with TNA, not to mention he had a couple of runs with the tag team titles as well. In all likelihood, we believe there's a good chance that R-Truth ends up in TNA once his WWE contract officially expires, and he becomes a free agent in the near future, because while a move to AEW could also be an option for Truth, given the history and ties that Truth has with TNA, not to mention some of his good friends work there including former world champion Dolph Ziggler, there's a good chance that Truth will make the move to TNA once he's able to sign with another company, and honestly this would be the best case scenario for fans if Truth being brought back to WWE is out of the equation, because with WWE now having a working relationship with TNA, with talent from both companies appearing on each other's shows, this would allow for the possibility of R-Truth making occasional returns to WWE, because like some of you are aware, R-Truth was released from WWE for financial reasons, as Truth's contract was so high that the company felt it didn't make sense to keep him signed given the level he was being used, but it's not like Truth left WWE on bad terms. In fact, WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long recently shared on his Road Trip After Hours podcast that he had personally spoken to R-Truth since his WWE release, and emphasized that Truth's happy and in a good place, revealing, quote, "I talked to Truth and he's happy with it. I saw a statement after the release. So here's how I see it. If Truth is happy, I love it. There's no need to go back and forth or argue about it. That won't bring him back. And if you've got any sense at all, you can see what's going on." So with that being said, it would be more than possible that Truth could make some special appearances in WWE should he sign with TNA, so again, if fans want to see Truth back in WWE sporadically moving forward, then fans should be pushing for Truth to sign with TNA over AEW, because up to this point the WWE don't have a working relationship with AEW, so if R-Truth was to sign with All Elite Wrestling, we wouldn't be seeing Truth back in a WWE ring anytime soon. Let us know down in the comments section below if you guys would be happy to see R-Truth sign with TNA Wrestling, knowing that there would be a good chance of Truth eventually making a crossover appearance or two in WWE because of TNA's partnership with WWE, or do you feel like Truth should still instead consider a move to AEW? So far, TNA are the major company that have openly expressed an interest in signing Truth, and we'll just have to wait and see if the money they're willing to offer him is enough to convince R-Truth to sign with them and return to TNA, but the bottom line is that despite being 53 years old, R-Truth is quite literally going to be one of the biggest free agents in wrestling within a matter of months. Former WWE Champion Drew McIntyre has essentially been put on the injured list in WWE following his clash with Damian Priest at Saturday night's main event this past weekend, with this match being a way to write McIntyre off of television for the foreseeable future due to the fact that Drew had been dealing with a legit neck injury over the past several months and was basically working hurt. Now we send our best wishes to Drew McIntyre for 2 reasons, the first being that Drew is celebrating his 40th birthday today on June 6th, and also because of the fact that Drew will likely be out of the ring for more time than he would like, potentially a few months, with Drew possibly being forced to miss the second biggest event of the year, that being SummerSlam, which is set to take place at the beginning of August. It's honestly wild to hear that Drew McIntyre is already 40 years old. It seemed like it was just yesterday when Vince McMahon was declaring the young Drew McIntyre as the chosen one. Time definitely flies, but no doubt Drew McIntyre is still very much in his prime despite being 40, and hopefully he has at least another 5 to 10 solid years in wrestling, although McIntyre is definitely going to need to make his health a priority and deal with injuries sooner, otherwise these injuries that McIntyre tries to wrestle through will begin to take their toll and cause McIntyre's career to be cut short. Now there's some major news regarding who WWE could be planning to win tomorrow night's Money in the Bank ladder matches, and by all means some fans may be disappointed with who WWE are considering to be the potential winners of the matches this year, with WrestleVotes reporting the following during a recent session, quote, "When you hear about potential winners, take it with a grain of salt. This is professional wrestling, things can change. Nothing is guaranteed, especially under the current leadership where plans shift often. For the women, keep an eye on Rhea Ripley and Naomi, and on the men's side, the chatter is heavily leaning towards Seth Rollins or Solo Sikoa. They have stories lined up for a few outcomes, but from what we're hearing, most paths seem to include Rhea, Naomi, Seth, or Solo. That's as solid as it gets right now. We'll see how it plays out Saturday." Now noticeably left out of the conversation is fan favorite LA Knight. There's no doubt that a lot of wrestling fans have been rooting for LA Knight to win Money in the Bank this year, seeing as though Karrion Kross was left out of the match, but by the sounds of it, Knight isn't even being considered behind the scenes to win this year, which will definitely be unfortunate news for LA Knight's fans out there. Now the plans are always subject to change, but if you had to choose, would you guys prefer Solo Sikoa or Seth Rollins to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder matches? And as for the women's side of things, who would you guys prefer winning the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Rhea Ripley or Naomi? Sound off in the comment section below.